the Nintendo Switch 2 just leaked. Straight from a Chinese factory, we got images of, I guess like a 3D model, the 3D model they're using to make the Switch itself. We got images of those, and bro, this really does look like the Nintendo Switch Pro. You know, when we were hearing rumors of the Pro, people said, oh, it's the OLED. The Pro was going to be a thing, but they just decided to make it the OLED. Yeah, I know why. Because the Switch Pro is the Switch 2. It's going to be the Switch 2. Okay, I'm afraid of getting in trouble, but since this channel's only got 5 subscribers right now, I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you guys images of the leaks. So, starting with the first image, we have the front of the console. This thing looks big. I'll show you some comparisons later to like the OG Switch model, but this thing is big. First thing I notice is it definitely looks like a Nintendo Switch. But for some reason, I don't know, it just looks sleeker. Maybe I'm just crazy, but something about it looks different. If you look on the right Joy-Con, you can also see that there's a brand new button, but we're going to be talking about the Joy-Cons a lot more in a few seconds. So let's go on to the next image. Here we have the back of the console, and it looks like they're using the same kind of kickstand as the Switch OLED, so maybe some of their ideas from the Switch OLED were like from the Switch Pro. If we zoom in on the Joy-Con here, we can see a brand new button on the back. Looks like it could be a release button. Next image, we have an image of just the Joy-Con model, and look at that. It doesn't look like it's going to be sliding down on the Switch anymore because it doesn't have, what is that, like a rail? It doesn't look like it's going to be sliding down. Also, it looks like the ZL, ZR buttons are going to be a whole lot easier to click. Alright, going to the next image, we have the comparison between the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. At the bottom, obviously, the Switch 1, and you can see from here, this thing is massive. Absolutely massive. The comparison between the OG Switch and the Switch OLED isn't even that big, so that is definitely a comparison between the OG Switch and the Switch 2. Even though the back of it is kind of hard to differentiate from the Switch OLED, you can see that there's no rail for the Joy-Con to go on. It's just like this weird oval kind of thing. You can see it just clips on there. You don't even have to slide it down, you just clip it on there. In the next image, we can see the front of the screens. I don't know why the OG Switch model has what looks like the OLED's screen. I really don't know, but that is also not the top priority. The top priority is on the top here. We have the Switch 2 screen, which looks massive compared to the original. If you get your original Switch, you have one near you, look at it for a second and realize it's going to be bigger. Next image, we have the bottom of the console. Looks like we have just the USB Type-C port and whatever connects it to the dock, you know, casual stuff, speakers. But what gets really interesting is the next picture where we can see the USB Type-C port is also on the top of the console. Alongside that, they're obviously bringing back the headphone jack. Nintendo is the only one keeping that alive right now. We got our space for our cartridges, which means yes, it's going to be using cartridges again. Backwards compatibility pretty much confirmed right there. The power button, the volume buttons look pretty much exactly the same as the Switch OLED. And the next image, we have what looks like the Joy-Con shell and the, I guess the motherboard on the console itself. I don't really understand much about the whole components and stuff like that when it comes to the Switch itself, but what I find important right here is we can see the Joy-Con shells. If you see on the side of it, it's not at all like a regular Joy-Con. And if you look on the right one, you can see the space for what looks to be perhaps another capture button because it's the same kind of square as on the left one. We can also see that the D-pad is not going to be making a return. Still going to have those, whatever you call them, the buttons. And it looks like it's going to be bigger and more convenient to hold sideways when playing multiplayer games with just a single Joy-Con. In the next image, we actually get to see the side of the Joy-Con properly, and as you can see, we have... I really don't know what to make out of what's in the middle. Clearly that's how it connects to the console, it kind of just clicks in, but I don't really understand it. I'm not that, knowledgeable when it comes to this kind of stuff, but It definitely looks interesting. It seems that they're using like magnets to clip it on this time around. It's not gonna be like no rail. You can see the magnet at the bottom, I'm pretty sure. And then I guess the middle part just clicks it in. You can also see that does that say ZL or SL? Is it ZL or ZR? No, I think it might be SL and SR. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong, but you can see that the buttons are definitely bigger and hopefully easier to click. They also look like they could be metallic, which I believe lines up with a leak we've heard in the past. Also, here are the leaked specs for the console. I'm not going to go reading it all out. You guys can pause and take a look if you want, if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But there it is. One thing I'll point out, 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's pretty freaking awesome for Nintendo. So, yeah, I'm pretty hyped. And that is all I have in terms of Nintendo Switch 2 image leaks for now. But you know what? If this is leaking out right now, surely within the next few days or weeks, probably days, we should see the announcement for the reveal of this console. I'm pretty sure Nintendo's going to do what they normally do. They're going to make a post saying tune in tomorrow for the reveal of the Switch successor. So yeah, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure by this point it's already too late for them to announce it, but if it doesn't happen tomorrow, next week is seeming really nice. There really could be a chance that the Switch 2 gets revealed next week. And you know damn well, if the Switch 2 gets revealed next week, we're going to be having this thing by like April the latest. Alright, things are getting really interesting, so make sure to like, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell so you never miss any future videos, because I'm going to be covering every single detail about the Nintendo Switch 2 as it is announced. And man, when that day comes, when the Switch 2 is finally in our hands, oh, it's going to be so great. I'm 100% doing videos on it, like, every single day when this thing comes out. I'm going to be streaming, like, all the time on this thing. I am going to be the Nintendo Switch 2 guy. So, make sure to tune in for more. Peace out.